Hello, and welcome to Season 3 of the Minecraft Archive. I'm Jared3118, and this is Episode 9. And in this episode, I am going to show you guys my improved monster spawner and trap. And by improved, I mean improved over the one that was built in Season 1 of the Minecraft Archive. This one has some extra nice little features. And right here, you'll see right away I have a button, and next to it, it says light switch. So if I kind of peek in there now, you'll see it's very dark, there's plenty of mobs in there, and that's exactly what we want out of a monster spawner room. We want plenty of mobs, but let's say I want to work on that room. I want to expand it, make it a little larger. I've got to go through and I've got to set down a bunch of torches, and that takes a long time. So what I've done instead is put a bunch of glowstone hidden in the ceilings and the walls, and when I press this button, voila, the lights turn on, and eventually mobs will stop spawning. Now, of course, there's mobs already in there because they spawned when it was dark, so I can simply just wait for the water channels to take them down to the end, or I can go in here and kill them with my brand new diamond sword with a sharpness 2 enchantment. Got that at level 15. And, okay, so I'm just going to clear out this room real quick, and then I will show you guys the redstone wiring behind the glowstone. Okay, the monster spawner room is all clear, and I have the lights on still. And let me go ahead and explain to you how I built this room real quick. If you've seen my episode in the first season of the Minecraft Archive about how to build a monster spawner room, you'll recognize that this room is not a whole lot different. It just simply has a 2-block border going all the way around the edge of the room. And that is simply so I can walk around the edge of the room without having to hop in and out of the channels to move from one end of the room to the other. The channels themselves, the ones on the sides, have 2 water source blocks. The water travels 7 spaces and then it ends. And I put 2 signs on the wall at the end of that channel. And as you can see, that stops perfectly before the main channel. The main channel, if we go back to the beginning of the room, simply starts again with 2 water source blocks. The water travels 7 blocks. It stops. And then we have 2 signs on the wall. And again, we just start with 2 more water source blocks, travels 7 spaces, and signs on the wall. So pretty simple. In between the side channels is 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you know how far to space your channels out. And I just have 1 glowstone block centered directly above each kind of spawning pad area. And then I have 1 more on the side walls to give a little extra lighting. So all those channels end up taking the monsters to this point down here, and this is where it gets a little different from Season 1. The channels drop into a room that is 20 blocks down, so they take quite a bit of damage as they fall. Now in Season 1 of the Minecraft Archive, there was no such thing as XP in Minecraft, so there was no point in killing the monsters by hand. But now, since we only get XP if we kill a monster by hand, we ideally want them to be as low in life as possible and not be dead. That was kind of a crazy glitchy door. Okay, so I can go ahead and turn the lights back off because we want monsters to start spawning in there. And as you can see, works just fine. But this doorway leads to the wiring of the glowstone lighting. Now I know when you get up here, you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, this looks crazy. Or maybe if you're a redstone expert, you go, oh, that doesn't look too bad. But for those of you that think it looks absolutely crazy, don't be too intimidated. It's actually very simple, and I'm going to show you how to build these block swappers at the end of the episode. But it's simply, these are block swappers that swap down. They swap the block directly below this piston here. So we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side and 5 more on that side. So a total of 10 block swappers, that swap the blocks directly below them. And then on the sides of the room, we have a different type of block swapper. This swaps blocks sideways, and if that's not a tongue twister, I don't know what is. But anyways, we have 5 more going down on this side and 5 more on the other side of the room. So they are all connected through a bunch of redstone wiring and repeaters. And if you don't know a whole lot about redstone, redstone gets power from some type of object. In this case, it's a button, and I press the button. It gives redstone power for up to 15 pieces of redstone. So at 15, which would be this space right here, it runs out of power. So this repeater continues the power. And again, we travel 15 spaces. We need another repeater. And notice we're connecting all of these block swappers. So all of these block swappers are tied to that one button that you saw next to the light switch sign. And it's pretty simple. It just swaps a piece of glowstone out with a piece of smoothstone. And the hardest part is just taking the time to carve out all the space for the room, wiring it all together. Building the block swappers themselves are pretty easy, and you need quite a bit of redstone actually. Alright, so that is the redstone wiring room, and then this is the monster spawner room. Let's go ahead and head down the stairs here. Now this staircase leads directly below the main channel of the monster spawner room. Now I know it's going to be really dark for you guys in here, it's going to be very hard to see, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw in a temporary torch so you can see what this looks like. Basically, the floor is made entirely of glass. A monster cannot spawn on a transparent block, so that is why the entire floor is made out of glass. I don't have to worry about monsters spawning down here, even though it's really dark. And you might be wondering, why is this dark? Well, if I had a bunch of torches down here and I go back and I look in the room, that light is actually shining through into the room, and you are obstructing my view as I try to explain something. You can see how well lit the area is here. So we don't want any torches down there, but we also don't want any monsters, so we just make the floor out of glass. And of course I made the ceiling out of glass. That's not necessary, but I think it's kind of cool to be able to walk down here and see monsters traveling towards their doom, where they drop 20 blocks. And oh yeah, here we go. Here's a creeper hopping up and down, trying to fight the current. You will ultimately lose, creeper, and you will drop 20 blocks. Okay, so we've got more of a staircase here. Not sure if you guys can see that without me lighting it up. This has kind of a nice glass view so that if any monsters, come on, lose your battle to the current. We want to watch you drop. Oh, there was one. We can watch them drop 20 blocks. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so let's get rid of this torch here. I've got just more windows so that we can watch them drop, just because it's fun. And eventually, we get all the way down to this room here. And notice all the monsters are being held in this small little room. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kill them real quick. I'm level 3, going to make a note of that real quick. Now, it's hard to control which ones you're hitting, but I always try to take out the creepers first, because in rare scenarios, a skeleton will try to shoot you with a bow while you're down here, and he will accidentally hit a creeper. The creeper will get very angry. He will blow up, and he will destroy this room. So, that is why this room is made out of obsidian. Now, this is my personal texture for obsidian. I'm still kind of tweaking it. Not sure if I'm crazy about it or not. But nonetheless, it is obsidian, so it's very strong. And as you can see, monsters just keep dropping in here. So what happens is they drop 20 blocks. And then I have a little bit of a current, just one water source block. And it pushes them all to a corner of the room. And at that corner of the room, I simply can see their legs. And I have the sign here so the water doesn't spill out. And I just swing at their legs. And most of the times, they can't hurt you. The only mob that can hurt you is a skeleton. But as we can see here, if he gets too close, he is not able to aim at me. We don't have to worry about creepers, spiders, skeletons. Now, endermen do not spawn in this monster spawner because the ceiling was only 2 blocks tall. And endermen, of course, are 3 blocks tall. So yeah, you just stay here for a while, you wait for monsters to spawn, and you just hit them with your sword. Sometimes it takes one hit because they're very low on life. Other times it takes a few, just like we saw there. But you can get a lot of XP and a lot of items. Already I've got 10 arrows, 9 bones, 6 rotten flesh, 1 spider eye, 6 gunpowder, and a piece of string. So yeah, it's pretty simple. The glass here, again, is not necessary. I like to be able to see in there. Once I see a big group of mobs, I come over here and I kill them all. I'll normally kind of let them build up until there's about 10 of them in there. And the reason I do have the glass in there again is so I can see in there, and in the event that a creeper explodes, he will destroy this glass, but they can't get out because it's only a 1 block gap. I guess a spider could get out, but no big deal. The creeper explosion probably killed any creepers. And I've got these neat little windows in here with just a glass block, and behind it is a piece of netherrack on fire. Adds a nice little cozy touch. Stone bricks for the floor. And then down here, I have a storage chest where I keep these items. Oh, also, if you get lucky, sometimes a skeleton will kill a creeper in just 1 hit. And when that happens, you will get a record. And I've already gotten 3 records in the very short time that this trap has been built. But I have a bed right next to this trap down here because I ideally want it to be daytime. And it is daytime right now. That controls where the monsters spawn a bit more. There's less of a chance that they're going to spawn outside because there's not too many dark places outdoors. Another thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go around and light up all the caves around this monster spawner and trap very well. This room actually is in a cave, and as you can see, I've went through here and I've lit it up very well so that there's no monsters spawning. Alright, I am going to do a little experiment real quick. I'm just over level 8, maybe about a quarter of the way, a little bit less than that. I'm going to dump all my items in here that I've picked up. And I'm going to go here and I am going to kill monsters for 10 minutes. Now, no worries, you don't have to watch me for that 10 minutes. I'll just simply show you the results once I'm done. But I am curious, how much XP can I get and how many items can I get in 10 minutes of killing mobs here? So I will be back after 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes is up, and I am now up to level 15. Not bad at all. 7 levels in about 10 minutes. Now, granted, an XP farm would be much faster, and I will eventually build one of those in my world as soon as I can find a dungeon. But the nice thing about this trap is it does give you a wide variety of items from all the mobs. So I ended up with 16 gunpowder, 10 rotten flesh, 23 arrows, 25 bones, 11 string, and 2 spider eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that in this chest here. And let's go learn how to make those block swappers. Okay, so this is a new room that I just started working on today. It's actually going to be a redstone lab where I can come in here. It's a nice big open room, and will be able to test redstone creations. And then back here in this corner, it'll be made entirely of obsidian so that I can test TNT explosions without having to worry about it destroying the walls or the ceiling or the floor. Alright, so I'm going to teach you now how to build the block swapper that swaps downwards. So imagine this dirt platform is the ceiling. What you are going to want to do is take dirt, cobblestone, stone, doesn't matter, and you're going to put 2 blocks in a row like that, and then 2 vertically. And you're going to have 1 gap in between, and then your hole in the ceiling. So this is the block that will get swapped out in there. Alright, I'm then going to take a redstone torch and place it on that block there. And I'm just going to put a torch here for lighting. And then I'm going to take a sticky piston. And this is a little tricky. You got to get lower than the redstone torch, look up at it, and right click on it, and that will place the sticky piston like so, so that it's pointing downwards. Alright, so now back on this side, I'm going to take redstone and put it here, here, and here, and then one more here. Okay, and then the other pieces of redstone you'll need are here and here. Alright, for this next part, we're going to need 2 redstone repeaters. And we're going to want to make sure we're facing towards the sticky piston that's pointing down. And we're going to place it here and set a delay of 1. So you're just going to right click on it one time. Going to go to the other side and we're going to do the same thing. So notice this thing is perfectly symmetrical as of right now. And we're going to get out 4 regular pistons. And there is going to be one here. So just one gap in between it and the sticky piston that's pointed down. And of course the reason that sticky piston is already fired is this redstone torch is giving it power. Alright, and then we're going to put a gap in between this piston and put another one here. Now make sure these pistons are of course facing inwards. Same with this side here. So we're still perfectly symmetrical, but here is where it starts to get different. You're going to take any block, I'm just going to use cobblestone, and you're going to place it right here. Okay, so that breaks the symmetry. And then we need our 2 blocks that we want swapped. So for now, I am going to say that is a piece of birch wood that is in the ceiling right now, but we want to swap it with a wooden plank. So the wooden plank goes there, and the birch wood goes there. Now, it's just a matter of providing power to this block right here. And the easiest way to do that, just to test it out, is to put a button on it. So the birch wood was facing down. I'm going to press this button. And, actually, I think I made a mistake. Yes, I did. Okay, one second. I'm not sure if this affects it, but we need a block there. And a block here. And let me take a look at that. Is that the only thing that was wrong? Alright, let's go try this thing again. Yes, it was. Okay, so it is very important to remember to put a cobblestone block or any type of block, it doesn't matter what type it is, between those regular pistons on the side. Okay, so notice the block that was over here has been shifted to the middle. And the block that was in the middle has been shifted to this side. And our wooden plank that was right here is now in the ceiling, and our birch wood is up here. And if I go and I press the button, it'll obviously just flip-flop. And look just like how it did in the beginning, except for this time I have those cobblestone blocks there that are important. You must have them. And we can see the birch wood is facing down. So that is the type of block swapper that I use to switch out stone with glowstone for the ceiling in the monster spawner room. So now let's take a look at the ones that are on the sidewall. This one is actually a lot simpler to build, but I'm out of pistons. So if you don't know how to make a piston, I'm going to need 3 of them here. It's redstone in the bottom middle slot. Right above it, we have iron. Then we have the 2 bottom right blocks, cobblestone, 2 bottom left, cobblestone, and then we fill up the remaining slots with wooden planks. And there we can get 3 pistons, but we need one of them to be a sticky. So we put in 1 sticky piston with a slime ball on top, or excuse me, 1 regular piston with a slime ball on top, and it makes a sticky piston. And we're good on repeaters. If you don't know how to make a repeater, it's 3 pieces of stone. Notice I did not say cobblestone. Redstone torches like so, with a piece of redstone in the middle. Okay, so for this one, this is the block that we want to swap. We're going to put our back to it, and we're going to place a sticky piston. So there should be 1 gap in between, and on this side here, we're going to place a piston, and same here. So again, symmetrical. For our ceiling, right above it, We need to have a block here and a block here. Does not matter what type of blocks they are. And that torch is actually going to be in the way. Okay, up here on top, we need redstone. And one will go here, 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 and here on top of all the blocks. And then we are going to need, this is where the symmetry breaks, 2 blocks here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a block in the front that we want it to swap in and out. It's going to start off with birch wood. I'm just using that as a test. And we're going to put 1 piece of redstone in this corner, and then a redstone repeater here on maximum delay. So I'm clicking on it 1, 2, and 3 times, and that's a right click. Okay, now we're going to get out our redstone torches, and we're going to put one here. And that's going to make that piston get stuck to the back of the block. And then I'm going to come around on this side, and I want to put a redstone torch on this block here. But before I do that, I need to place my block that I want to swap in and out. In this case, it's a wooden plank. Okay, so I'm going to put a redstone torch on this block here, and it's not going to do anything because this sticky piston has already fired, and even though this piston has power, it can't push that wooden plank any farther. So that is all there is to a block swapper that swaps sideways. We're going to put a button right here so that we can test it out and fire it. And there we go. So, pretty simple. As you can see, a lot of fun to play with too, and you just use glowstone and stone, and you can make a nice looking room with lights that come in and out of the ceilings and the walls. Alright, so to conclude this episode, I'm now up to level 16. I killed a few monsters in between scenes. Let's go ahead and let's enchant a bow for the very first time. Enchanting bows is something new they added in Minecraft 1.1, so might as well give that a try. Now I was curious, how are they going to let you enchant bows since bows have no durability, but they appear to have added durability to bows because I now have a green bar beneath my bow here. So I don't want to enchant that bow because I've already used it a little bit. Let's make a brand new one. And sometimes I get this backwards. I think, oops, a bow is like this. Okay, good, it is. And let's enchant that. So can't do any of those. Let's try to get somewhere around 15 or 16. Hey, that'll work. And let's see what we got. Bow, power 2. And yeah, cool, glows. So alright. We've got a bow that does more damage than normal, and it looks cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I wish you the best of luck on building your own monster spawner and trap, and hope you guys learned something about those block swappers, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.